What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Well, today's the day, and I'm gonna hop in this tractor and planter. I'm gonna get it out of the shed, and gotta fill up the planter because we'll be planting today. It's actually not the first day of planting. We actually did plant just a little bit yesterday afternoon, so technically it's not the opening day, but I don't know, there's a lot going on the very first day of planting, like very first day of harvest, that kind of stuff. So kind of just wanted to stay focused on what was going on, and didn't even film the first day. But for you guys, this is the opening day. So Dad's hooking onto his corn tender, and he's gonna bring it up here as well. We're gonna get both these planters filled up and get them out in the field. Alrighty, well, I'm off to go plant some soybeans. Dad's gonna be planting here around the farm. This field was worked up yesterday afternoon, so he's good to go whenever. I think he was getting his iPad and stuff set up in the cab, and he'll be rolling some corn in the ground. But I'll be right up the road here planting some soybeans. These are enlist soybeans. We're gonna plant some of them this year. We've been pretty much all non-GMO in the past, but we're gonna throw some enlists in the ground and I don't know, try them out and see how they do. So I'm getting ready to pull in the field now, and let's get this thing unfolded. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Just gotta go through this sequence of unfold here on the monitor, and get all these vacs rolling, prime the planter, then I can start trimming this thing out. Wow, she primed up on the first time. So what that did there on the prime control was, after I had everything fired up, it made sure there was seed coming out of all the units. So I'm gonna set you guys down here and focus up here on this first pass. These guidance lines are dialed, so looks like you did a good job, Dad. So I noticed here, I was coming up to the end, row number 17 seemed like it was starting to creep down with the population there on the monitor. So Dad did say he noticed the problem with that row towards the end of his planting yesterday. So I'm gonna take this brush and shove it down the seed tube, make sure it's all cleaned out, make sure that sensor's all cleaned off, and see if that helps any. So all I'm doing is running that brush in and out of that seed tube, and if I had 3 hands I'd show you, but I don't, so I'm gonna set you down. While I'm out here, I'm gonna dig around and see what the seed's looking like here. Oh yeah. There we go. Well, moved that one, but and I moved remove that one. Alrighty, well, I think we're looking pretty good. So, just got one pass here made on the west end. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get this field all trimmed out, get her knocked out. Let's hope that we don't have any more issues with row 17 now that I cleaned out that sensor, or cleaned off the sensor in that seed tube. Well, we seem to be in good shape here on row 17 now. If I ever have an issue like that where I see a row unit, well, now it just dropped. Well, let's go take a look, because now it says it's blocked and it's not even planting. So let's hop out and take a look. Well, I don't know what the deal was there on that unit. I stopped and checked everything over, hopped back in the cab, took off, and everything was working fine. So sometimes it just works out like that. But yeah, I think what I was saying is if I ever have an issue with a unit on the monitor here, the first thing I do is go back there, check it all over, make sure everything looks good, and if it looks good, I'll run that brush down the seed tube, make sure that sensor's all cleaned off, and then hop back in and give it a try. And most of the time it fixes the problem, but who knows. We're just ripping across the ends here now, so getting it all trimmed out. So I've gone around the whole field one time, and what I like to have is 3 complete passes on each end. Just gives you plenty of room to turn around, and 3 passes just seems to work out nice. It's the same width as the sprayer boom and everything. So that's what we've always done, so we're gonna keep on doing it. But laying my second pass down here on the west end, so got 1 more here, and then 2 passes to do on the east end. And this thing will be all trimmed out, and we'll just keep working back and forth. Knock on wood, I haven't had any more row failure problems, so that's good. Although now that I'm talking about it, I'll probably drop the planter here on this next pass and have an issue. But so far, everything's going pretty smooth. Guidance, swath, north side, engage, drop planter, hammer down. So if you're new to this channel, first of all, I'd really appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button. But anyway, I made a video a couple months ago about us putting different tires on this planter, and let me tell you what, if you've got a planter like this, no question at all, I would definitely recommend putting these type of tires on. Beforehand, we had some big balloon tires, and that's what it came with factory. But these flat style tires, kind of like what would be on like a DB John Deere planter, so much better. You don't see them sinking in the ground as much. I mean, they're gonna sink in a little bit just because there's 4 tires that's holding up this whole thing. So there's a lot of weight on them, but definitely would recommend these. So much better than the standard tires that they would have from the factory. So I'm happy with them. So now that I'm pretty much rolling here hot and heavy with everything trimmed out and whatnot, I need to check my coming in and going out overlap control. See where the seat's planting. I would rather it actually overlap a little bit with soybeans instead of having a gap. So last year was pretty dialed in, so it hasn't been messed with, but who knows what could have gone on with this monitor. So I'm gonna get out here when I get to the end and check my going into the headland and then heading back out. So I just checked my overlap control of going in and coming out of the headland, and we're dialed right in, so don't have to make any adjustments, which is good. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna sit back, pay attention, watch everything, and enjoy the first day of planting. Last pass on this field. So I'm gonna get up here to the end, I'm gonna fold this thing up, go down to the farm and fill her back up with beans ahead of the next field. Put all these vacs and float, bulk fill. Bar raise, we gotta go full. Full. Inner markers, they're already in. Drive ahead. Set the tongue. Planter brake off. That is very important. Last step, set the rotate lock. There we go. Well, I figured I'd stretch out a little bit, so I always like to come back here and look at what I've been planting. Just make sure everything's looking good. Take a look at the seed. Make sure depth is still looking okay. And from what I've seen, we're looking pretty good. So now I'm gonna take a look at this planter and make sure everything's in one piece. And then back in the cab we go. I don't think that's supposed to look like that. Looks like we busted a pin here. Oh. Was break a bolt here. It goes on the top. I got an extra one right here. But I gotta go get some wrenches because that's tight on there. So all I gotta do is put that bolt through the top and tighten it up, and we'll be good to go. Well, we're back in business. Yeah, I swung that corner a little fast back there and snapped that bolt right off. So maybe I ought to take it a little slower next time. Well, we've got a mess here now. See this hose here? It's busted. It got pinched in between the tire and the frame. So we busted that line. So I'm going to take this off. I've got it on stands and the pressure taken off of the hose. So I'll take off the hose and go up to Berkey's and get a new one. I'm gonna have to find a different way to route this because I don't know why it should have gotten pinched between the tire and the frame all of a sudden. So let's get some wrenches and get this taken off. So we were able to get this hydraulic hose fixed. You probably really can't tell from the video, but we really had to kind of jimmy rig it with some zip ties and reroute the hoses because since these different tires are a little wider, it was pinching that hose on the tire and causing that hose to wear and bust. So I rerouted the hoses, put a bunch of zip ties around it, and I don't know, I'm just gonna keep an eye on it as of now. I probably need some heavier zip ties on it, but I don't have any with me. So I got a couple of rows here that the monitor says is not planning, but they are. So I'm gonna take this thing, wipe off that sensor and give it a try. Alrighty, there we go. So yeah, it was showing me that those two rows were not planning. And well, I walked back there and looked and they were. So cleaned off those sensors with that brush, and now it's showing me in the cab that they are planning. So, and now that quite a bit of time's passed by, dried off this ground a lot. Look how dusty it is. So yeah, like I said, I need to get some really heavy zip ties and really look under there where those hoses are at and kind of get that all situated. But as of right now, I've got a lot of zip ties holding those hoses up. They're just pretty small ones, so I'll keep an eye on it and make sure nothing breaks so I don't burn through another hose. Well, I got about 45 acres left in this piece, and when I get this wrapped up, I'll be taking it to the farm and calling it for the day. So first full day is almost coming to an end. Well, day one planting's in the books, so pretty good first day. Had a couple little problems, but nothing real major. So that's gonna be all for this video. If you made it this far and you haven't hit subscribe, might as well go ahead and do that. I'd appreciate it. And lights out. We'll see you guys in the next one.